Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you all are fine by the grace of the God. In your previous online class, you have learned about the chapter Sangam Age, and in that, you have learned the archaeological sources, literary sources, the three kingdoms in which you have learned about the Cheras, the Cholas, and the Pandyas. Among the Chera kingdoms, you have learned that the Cheras were defeated by the Pallavas in the 4th century AD, and then the Pandya kingdom came into force. In that, Nidur Jailian was the most prominent among the early Pandya rulers. After that, you have learned about the Chola kingdom. The Chola kingdom, in that, Karikala was the greatest ruler among all the historical kings. So now we will start with the social conditions of the Sangam age. Social conditions, in that the Sangam literature gives us a true picture of the social conditions of the age. Synthesis of the two cultures means the mixture of the two cultures. We have already seen the blend or the mixture of the two cultures like Aryan and Dravidians. Because I have already told you that Aryans have settled in the northern India and they have brought their own culture to the southern India. From the north, they have entered into the south and they had brought their culture also to the south. So, whatever things they have brought, it was learned by the Dravidians. During this age, the stories of the Mahabharata and the Ramayana were also known to the poets of the Sangam age. So, it was known the great stories of Mahabharata and Ramayana were well known to the poets of the Sangam age. The Tamil poets were also very much familiar with the characters and stories related in the Sanskrit literature. Now, the famous stories or the main characters of the Sanskrit literature were Arundhati. Arundhati was the most famous character of the southern India or southern literature. For instance, had become a model for women, as she was the model for women. Okay, for women, how we can say that she was the model for women, because she was very famous for his character, and in the south, because she personified the idol of chastity. Okay, because she was not engaged with anybody else, and she was a model of character in front of the other women or in the front of society, and other people, other group or the society was learning from his character. The legend that the chakora bird feeds only on raindrops and the raindrops turn into the pearls in particular seasons. So, one bird was also described in the Sanskrit literature, that was in the Sangam literature, that was chakora, and that bird never feeds any other raindrops, but that bird feeds only that raindrops which comes during the time of the moonlight. So, and it was also one saying that these raindrops turns into the pearls. After the touch of chakora, that drops turns into the pearl. So it is another instance of the Sanskrit ideas and beliefs. So we can say that it is the ideas and beliefs of the Sanskrit literature put into the literature of the Sangam age, and these things were compiled into the Sangam age. So you have learned about the stories of Mahabharata and Ramayana were known to the Sangam age poets, and Arundhati, the character of Arundhati, and the bird Chakora. Now, you will learn about the caste system. The caste system, in that caste system, the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, and the Vaishyas appears as regular caste or the Varnas in the Sangam text, right? So they were the regular caste system. Means regular caste system means the society was divided in between these three. Brahmins, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. And it is mentioned in the Sangam text. An idle king was one who never caused an injury to the Brahmins. And who was an idle king? Who never gave any problem to the Brahmins, or who always take care of the Brahmins. So he was known, the one king was known as an idle king. Many Brahmins were celebrated poets, and as such they were handsomely rewarded by the rulers. Okay, they were great poets, many Brahmins, and they were rewarded by the rulers. Karikala is said to have given one poet 1,60,000 600,000 gold coins. So Karikala has given as a gift to one poet, to one Brahmin poet, 1,600,000 gold coins. But was considered this comment exaggerated. So it was not absolutely true. Some historians have criticized this point, that it was not absolutely true. Besides gold, the Brahmins got cash and land grants from the king. Okay, they got cash also, and they got the lands also from the king, and noble families. Many Brahmins served the king as judicial officers. So many Brahmins were the judicial officers in the king's court, although most of them were trained to be the priest. Then we will see about the social outcast and the forest tribes suffered from extreme poverty. Okay, social outcast and forest tribes, they suffered from extreme poverty. They lived from hand to mouth. The hunters and the food gatherers lived mostly in hill areas. They worked hard to survive in a difficult situation. Okay, means there was no support from the king for them, and they were leading a hard life. They have to gather food for themselves. So they work very hard to survive their life. Those living in coastal areas were dependent on fishing and salt extraction for their livelihood. So for what, or we can say on what they were dependent? They were dependent on fishing and salt extractions. So this was the condition of the outcasts who were away from the city, or who were not involved with the villages or with the city. They were out from the villages. So they were the outcast and the forest tribes. They were suffering a lot. But these Brahmins, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, they were leading a very pleasureful life. Next we will see the ruling class. The ruling class, the class of warriors and some other classes. The ruling class was called Arasar. Okay, what was the name? It was known as the Arasar. The members of this class had married relations with the Velals. Okay, so they had the married terms with the Velalals. The propertied people owned the bulk of the land. War booty and income from the trade and agriculture produce enabled the king to maintain professional warriors. Okay, so in between the war, okay, between two kings, when one king get the war booty is the money which was collected by the winning king, and he gets the money from the loser king. So that is known as the war booty. And income from the trade, he got he had a good trading system. So from that he is getting the money. His economic status was upgraded with the trade, and agricultural produce enabled the kingdom to maintain professional warriors. So from these three things, okay, war booty, trade and agriculture, from these three things were the main sources of the economy of the kingdom. So The king takes taxes, the king collects the money from these three resources, and the king maintains his army, the king maintains his professional warriors. The occupations for war were many. The occasions for war were many. According to the Sangam poets, the refusal of one king to give his daughter in marriage to another was a frequent cause of war. Okay, so this was one reason of the war. If one king don't give his daughter for the marriage to one king, okay, so that king has a right to attack on that king. In Sangam poetry, heroes are glorified and wars and cattle raided very often maintained. So heroes were glorified. Heroes had a special place in the society. Those who were serving for the king, those who were serving for the society. So person has a special place in the society. They were glorified among the society, and wars and cattle raids very often mentioned. So in Sangam poetry, heroes are glorified. Such memorial structure were built in order to remind people of such person as died fighting for the king or for some noble cause. Okay, so they make the statues, they make the portrait of that person who died for the noble cause or who died while fighting in the war for the king. So they make all these stone figures related to that person, such as the protection of their village, or maybe they died because of the protection of their village. So in that way you have learned about the social conditions, in which you have learned about the two mixture of culture of the Aryans and the Dravidians, then the caste system and the ruling classes. So please listen the video carefully and complete your assignments on the given date. Please complete your assignments so that you will be ready for the virtual class. Thank you.